Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a powerful, maybe even kind of uncomfortable idea that the biggest thing holding you back from success, well, it isn't out there. It's in here.
So let's just jump right in with a question that gets to the heart of everything. What really holds most of us back from hitting our true potential?
What if the real enemy is living inside you? That's the core idea from Ryan Holiday's book, Ego is the Enemy. And today, we're not just going to talk about the book. We're going to synthesize it, look at some critiques, and really give you the full 360-degree view.
Okay, so let's get on the same page. What is this internal enemy we're actually talking about? First off, let's be super clear. We are not talking about confidence, that healthy self-belief you get from putting in the work. No, we're talking about ego. And ego, it's like that little petulant child inside all of us that just has to get its way. It's the part that tells you you're more important than you are, that twists reality, and basically just poisons the well. The artist Marina Abramovich absolutely nailed it. She said, the moment you start believing in your own greatness, that's it. It is the death of your creativity. The second your ego tells you you've made it, well, that's when you stop growing. Game over. See, ego is this constant threat, but it's a real shapeshifter. It attacks you differently depending on where you are. When you're just starting out, your aspiration phase, it's there. When you finally get that success, it's there, trying to blind you. And when you fail, oh, you better believe it's there to kick you when you're down. But for this explainer, we're going to focus on that first stage, the aspiration stage. Because honestly, that's where the fight is often lost before it even gets started. Okay, so let's dive into the aspire stage. This is where all those bad habits can start to creep in and where ego sets its sneakiest traps. And the thing is, they often look a lot like ambition. And here's trap number one, talk. Just talking all the time. You know the one, right? The temptation to tell everyone about your big plans, post about the grind, announce your next move, instead of, actually doing the hard, silent work. And there's some serious psychology behind why this is so dangerous. When you talk about your goals, it can actually make you less likely to achieve them. Why? Well, it tricks your brain. Your brain gets this little dopamine hit, this feeling of accomplishment, just from the talking. It thinks the work is already done. It confuses the talk with the walk. And that's why this is so key. As Lao Tzu said, those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. Real confidence is quiet. It's earned in the work, not in the announcement. You gotta let your results do the talking for you. So all of this, it really boils down to a fundamental choice that ego shoves in our face, especially when we're just starting out. And this one choice, it can define everything. There's this legendary strategist, John Boyd, and he laid it out for all of his students as a clear fork in the road. He said, you have to make a choice between looking like something and actually being something, between appearance and substance. And this just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got to be. That's the ego path. It's all about the title, the fame, the recognition. On the other side, you've got to do. That's the purpose path. It's about the mission, the craft, the impact, and not really caring who gets the credit. But hold on a second. Is it really that simple? Is it always that black and white? Before we just accept this, it's really important we look at some of the critiques, because the real world has a lot more gray area. Look, the book's ideal is beautiful. Always choose to do. But critics make a really fair point. In the real world, sometimes you need the title. You need to be somebody just to get a seat at the table so you can finally do the work you care about. So maybe the real path is a synthesis of the two. You learn to strategically navigate the external world of being while never, ever letting it mess with your internal compass that's pointed at doing. Okay, so this is all great in theory, but how do we actually use this? How do we fight back against our own ego, especially in that really vulnerable aspire stage? Well, it turns out the most powerful antidote to ego is becoming an eternal student, constantly learning. Let me show you an absolutely brilliant example of what this looks like. Okay, so check this out. Kirk Hammett gets hired as the lead guitarist for Metallica. That's the dream job, right? His ego could have screamed, I've arrived. But what did he do? He immediately went and found a super demanding guitar teacher, Joe Satriani, and started taking lessons. He put himself back in the student's chair, getting harsh feedback on the fundamentals, all while being a quote-unquote rock star. Why? Because he knew he wasn't as good as he needed to be. He was more committed to the work than the image.
So let's wrap this up with a simple 3-step action plan. Think of this as your ego management toolkit. First, talk less, do more. Seriously, let your work be the proof. Second, always choose do over be. When you're at a crossroads, ask yourself, am I doing this for my purpose or for my image? And third, always be a student. Actively look for people who can teach you, who can give you honest feedback. Because like Epictetus said, you can't learn what you think you already know.
Let's just end on this one crucial distinction. Ego is stolen. Confidence is earned. Ego is that flimsy armor you build from likes and compliments. But real confidence? That's forged in the fire of actually doing the hard, quiet work.
So, here's the final question for you. Your ego is constantly telling you a story about how great you are, or how you've been wronged, or what you deserve. The real question is, are you ready to stop listening to that story and start doing the work to create a new one?